Hello, hello. Welcome, Black Woman Be Well family. It's your girl, Jennifer Tomlinson. And today's episode is another Just One of the Guys episode. So in the room, we got John Q in the building.
What's up, everybody? Hopefully this sounds good. We're going to make it sound right. Yeah.
And Mr. Jonathan Simmons is back again.
Hello, everybody. The COVID edition.
Yeah, speaking of which, we are still not in our usual studio, but we're at John Q's house with his nice little setup, Mr. Sound Engineer and whatnot. We appreciate you, brother.
Girl.
So yeah, we're just going to talk about some stuff. You guys know that Just One of the Guys format is me attempting to really ask questions to men to get their perspective, really to help women so that we can get some insight into the black male psyche, really so that we can grow and learn. And ultimately, this is all about communicating and creating better interpersonal relationships between the two. So we have a couple of topics, and yeah, let's start with the first one.
Jump right into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
No word from the sponsors?
I don't have any.
Oh, okay.
If you would like to be an official sponsor, email us at contact@blackwomanbewell.com. So, do we want to do the accountability topic or Jonathan's question that he found?
That was your question, right?
Okay, so let's talk about love.
Rip the Band-Aid off. Just rip it off.
Let's talk about love. How do men know when they're in love versus when you just have love for someone? So this was a question. Special shout out to My Pine Hills. You can follow them on Instagram. They sent this question in to the guys so that we can get some perspective. What do you guys think?
We can go, like,
whoever wants to go.
Around the table.
We'll start that up.
All right, so with this question, just repeat it real quick so I can have it fresh in my mind.
How does a man know when they're in love with someone versus having love for someone?
All right, so this is hard to answer because I don't think love is a point. I think as you develop and mature and have experiences in life, your love changes, and when you're in love with somebody changes, that point of when it starts happening changes, and then I think it's also fluid. I mean, the difference of having love for somebody and then being in love with somebody, when you have love for them, it's like, I want to see you do good. I want to see you be everything that you can be. I want the best for you. I want to be there for you, but I don't want to be your person. I want to be applauding you when you find your person.
So is that having love for someone versus being in love with them?
Yes.
And you can be in relation with someone like this?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
Very interesting.
Because in the way you can be in relationship with them is because, you have some form of a bond. It may not be y'all are right for each other. And I think we need to normalize people not being right for each other.
Preach.
And even if you're not right for each other and y'all are doing what y'all do, I mean, communication will always open up the field to where y'all can talk about what y'all want. And if y'all are talking about your futures and your futures are two different paths, then it's not working. But you can still care for that person. You can still want to see them be the best.
Pause this for a second, because I think this is a good word for the women. Because this is something I had to learn the hard way myself. So when I'm in something, I'm in it hard. Like, I love unconditionally. And sometimes I'm in this place where I'm like, this is it. Like, I have to make this work. And at a young age, I didn't realize that point that you might love this person, but you're not meant for them. And they're not meant for me. Like, for me to even be able to see that from that perspective, this person is not, they're going to be perfect for somebody else, but this is not my energy.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that until, you have to go through the motions of working hard to make it work for it to fall apart, to learn that lesson the hard way sometimes. Like, I can still love this person and care for them, but this was never meant for me.
So something my older brother up in New York, shouts out to Craig, he said this to me, and I mean, hopefully he don't get mad that I put his business. He don't have social media and stuff like that.
Lord,
He too old.
All his business.
But it was his ex-girlfriend who he was with for maybe 10, 12 years, and he kept messing up. And so like her final straw, she was like, you know, I can love you, but I don't have to be with you.
Amen.
And he was like, that was the realest shit he's ever heard in his life.
You about to free somebody right now.
And that's
a woman about to make a call right now.
But that's how I feel like love, like when you know, it's not a point. It's not, you can't pinpoint love like that. You can't be like, all right, right now, when I get to this point, I'm in love. That changes when you get older, because you're like, I don't want this. I know I don't want these qualities, and I know I do want these qualities. So, you know, let me make sure that it's worth me extending myself for this person.
Okay, so Jonathan, I have a question for you, but do you have any response to that before I ask my question?
No, I was thinking about it while Q was talking. I was like, how do I keep this a buck? How do I keep this 100? and not just feed fluff, you know what I mean? To be truthful, it's like, because you need both. You need to be in love with somebody, and to have love for a person.
No, you don't.
For me,
let me challenge you real quick, and you can finish. Hold on a second. There's something called unrequited love. I'm in love with probably like 3 people. They do not know it. It's a little joke. His face is looking so... He's like hella concerned.
Because he didn't even finish his thought.
what the heck are you talking about?
He didn't even finish his thought. And she's like, I'm in love with 3 people.
You know, it's that you can't be loving somebody. You can't be in love with somebody without having actual love.
No, I agree with that. But I'm saying for me to be in a relationship with you and be serious about you, I have to have both.
Yes.
I have to have both. And when I know that I have both, is the question comes to me, can I let this person go and be okay with it?
Yeah.
If I can let this person leave and I'm cool, it's most likely I have love for her. Mm-hmm. But I'm not in love with her. Or, I once was, and then it stopped. And now I just really, I really care about you. I want the best for you, but it's just that vibe isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Just short, just no BS. If I can just squash it and I'm good, it's a good sign. I really don't care that much.
So can you love? Is there just one love, or can you have love, be in love with more than one person in your lifetime?
You mean
that was my question for Jonathan, but Q looked like he ready.
No, I'm nowhere near ready to answer this question, because I've seen this thing pop up a bunch of times on social media, and I never chime in.
A true love.
A true love. Being in love. A true love. Can you have?
That's all on perspective, though, because it's like, for me, I know that I truly have been in love multiple times in life. Mm-hmm. Where I thought that this was it, and it wasn't. So, yeah, I think you could be in love multiple times for sure.
I think she's talking about at the same time with multiple people.
Yeah, I don't do that.
That's what I see on social media. They always.
I don't get down like that.
Okay,
that's just not my vibe. Like, if I'm starting to fall in love with multiple people, the one that I'm committed to, most likely, I'm sticking with that one. Yeah. And the one I'm starting to have feelings for is probably going to get kicked to the side.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's just how I get down. I don't have the patience to juggle and have feelings for 2 people, because when I'm in something, I'm all into something.
But the thing a lot of women, and I know I'm taking over, but the thing a lot of women don't understand, they don't believe it's possible for you to be in love with multiple people at the same time in that way.
In that way.
And that's why I always jump out of this conversation, because I'm like, I'm still experiencing. So I can't, and I don't want to talk for anybody else, but I always stay out of, because I'm like, I've been in situations where I'm like, I have strong feelings for this person, but this person, damn, now I'm contemplating stuff, and now I'm getting torn, and I'm like, yo, like what's happening? Then you see the conversations about monogamy and stuff like that, and then it's like, all right, like let me figure myself out. Let me figure out who I am and what I'll do before I'm
And I do want to differentiate the difference between infatuation and love. And I think that most women do think that, and this is mainly because we are conditioned to believe in that there's going to be one true love, like that Prince thing in the whole Disney archetype, that we're going to aim to find the special one. And for me, I feel like I'm a little different because I feel like I have so much love that the being in love with someone and having love for them extends even after the relationship ends. So for me, like I still am in love with men in my life who I was, in a relationship with, but it didn't work out, and we're still friends, and I wish them the best, and I encourage them through their next cycles and their next relationships. But that's because my heart has the capacity to do that. But I think most women are kind of like, this didn't work out, so I have to wish you dead. And then, versus like, most of my relationships don't end like that. Like most of the time I'm like, it didn't work out because, like what you were saying, Q, like I'm not meant for you, but I absolutely still love you, But then a part of me is still struggling too. Like Jennifer, that's just because you ain't found the one yet. You're going to find that dude that's going to be like, he going to wrap it up. You're going to close all these like
loose ends,
but I don't know.
But is that so is that having love for somebody at that point? Like that, so what you're describing is you have love for them, but you're not in love with them.
Or,
I guess I need to define that. I
don't know, man. I think that's a hard thing to do. Like, I don't know, man. Like for real, like maybe I'm just different. Maybe I've just been hardened or whatnot, or I have a different view of life now. Number one, you already know, Jen. I don't do what you do. Like when I can wish you well, but after I wish you well, it's done. I've invested so much time and energy into you. It's very hard for me to just be your friend afterwards. So therefore, for me to move on in life, I need to stop that relationship completely. If you want to hit me up like I see you in the street, cool. Hey, how's it going? Yo, I'm good. You good? Fam's good. Everything's good. Peace. That's where it lays. And like if the people that aren't in our lives for a reason. Yeah. So they chose where they are, and that's where they need to stay. So, because it's very hard to just cut that emotion off like that. You know what I mean? Because when you have love for somebody and you're in love for somebody, that equals investment, time. You know what I mean? So for me, once that investment is over, our time is done.
Yeah. So I want to clarify too, like, I would never recommend people do what I do. It's stressful. Yeah. And it's emotionally burdensome. I have the capacity to maneuver it. But yeah, and this is why Jonathan is like, that I'm not like you, because I needed Jonathan to check me. Like, in particular, okay, I was fine up until my last major relationship. And Jonathan had to been like, Jennifer, why are you even like entertaining this conversation? Like, you taught me that. Like, you taught me like there's a way to dead this where you can still care for the person and not give them any space in your life whatsoever. Right. So I needed that lesson from you as a friend and kind of teach me that, because like a lot of the times I still allow, because I love people, and if it doesn't end, that was the first relationship that ended terribly. Yeah. Like the infidelity thing that had never happened before. Usually it just ends because this ain't working out. But, we could still watch anime together. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This one was like, so me and Jonathan are eating ramen, and he's like, girl, what the hell? Like, well, so you had to teach me that. So I don't want to recommend what I do to anybody. That's just what I do.
No, but I hear it from women all the time. It's like, but that I think this can segue into another topic. Because then we start talking about friend zoning, and what does that really mean, and how men use it and how women use it. But I don't know, like just for me, Like, if you and I say we're done, we're done.
I know.
We're done. There's no going back and forth. Nah, man. I ain't down for all that. Because it causes misery and confusion.
Man, you don't have the capacity.
It's bad.
No, I think you like we're not are we talking about like, oh, we just ended this but we're going to hang out tomorrow? Cuz that's a no.
It's never like that.
Okay, if we're talking like
it's never like that.
Because or texting you.
How I am with my exes is like one, she lives in North Carolina now. She just got married and stuff. Like I said, congratulations and stuff. When stuff was going on with Black Lives Matter, we talked about that, but we talk like once every 6 months, 7 months, and it's usually just like, how do you feel about this? Oh, this is going on. How's your life going? And that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about no
more than I do. Oh yeah, I'm okay with that middle ground.
Yeah, because
I'm okay with that.
It's like we're cool. Like we both care about each other's like well-being and stuff like that. Like I love to see her happy because the reason we broke up is because she moved to North Carolina. I moved to Orlando, so we split in different paths. Sure. We didn't talk for like 8 months after that. But it was like, hey, how are you doing? Oh, you're doing good. All right, bet. Like cool, good to hear from you.
Yeah.
That was it. So it's almost like crossing paths in the street. Because if I cross paths with her, it would be like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah. Well, let's jump. Let's go back to the
topic,
original topic. Because
talking to Mike.
Yeah, you can't. You covered your mouth in there.
It's this setting. That
we comfortable.
He about to sprawl out on this couch too.
Nah, man. You started with that nonsense, and I started. I was like, let me lean into this. I'm in this. Let's go. I wasn't awake before. I'm awake now. To be in love with two people, again, like love is an investment for me. Mm-hmm. Like to be in love with two people means you're entertaining something for certain. Oh, come on.
No. I'm not talking about that. But I hear what you're saying, but that's not what I was talking about. Go ahead, though.
Clarify that, though.
Yeah, for sure. Like, if I'm in love with somebody and then I'm starting to have feelings with somebody else and I continue those feelings, I think that's flaw.
Yes, 100%. And that's why I want to make sure there's a difference between infatuation and love. Because I feel like love is much more deeper, and it requires a deeper maturity that I can love you from afar, not entertain you, not communicate with you while I maintain my relationship with someone that I'm in love with. And that's different.
And that's what I'm talking about, too, where it's like it's at a distance and stuff like that. But and what I was saying, where I was like, it gets hard where you start getting torn if it's like I'm with this person or I'm not even with this person. I'm just in love with this person or whatever, or I'm pursuing this. And then something new starts coming up. And it's like, yo, like then you start contemplating, you get torn. That becomes stressful because but then the conversation of monogamy is like, are we doing that because it's a social construct? Is it because we're taught to do that? And I'm always like, I don't really know. So I always back out of that conversation.
I believe that came up in part 1 at some point. This monogamy versus polygamy thing came up.
I ain't got no patience for it.
I don't even think about it.
There's some cultures that do it. I've talked to women that are in those type of cultures that are involved in that.
That should be an episode. That should be a show because I would love to listen to that.
And most of them are miserable.
Really?
I haven't heard of anyone that was in a relationship with multiple people where they all were completely happy. Everybody in that relationship was happy. I haven't seen it. It doesn't mean it's not out there.
To be in relation is different than to be in love because it requires total love. Allows you the ability to love with conditions and spiritually or through energy without requiring anything. I can love you and you don't even know it. Like, so for me, like it's different to be in relation with someone requires management, time, commitment, to have someone feel like a whole person and to be able to do that for multiple people at the same time. I ain't got time for it. And I would do it in a selfish way where I benefit. And this is because I don't know any other way to do it, obviously, but I would do it in a selfish way where I benefited and was able to give parts of myself to different people, and I don't want that either. So that to me is different. When I talked about love, I can love more than one person at the same time, I think. But there's no way I could be in relation to more than one person at the same time. I don't have that capacity. And
But
also, I'm
in
very
love.
Well, that's the part that I wanted us to kind of stretch on. What does it mean? And I
That
think
to
to
me
your
is
point,
deeper.
to your point, I have love for someone versus being in love with someone.
Like, I don't know. Maybe like the way that we all experience love is different too.
It's not a point.
Yeah. So it's like for me, I'm like when I'm
Bringing it
in
back,
love.
John, bringing it back.
When I'm in love, I am completely like infatuated with that one person. There's no way that I can see two at the same time or have that type of love for somebody else at the same time. I can't.
I don't know if I've ever had that. There's one friend I have now who I genuinely love.
I stay
To the
solo.
point where in my
I'll stay solo
relationship,
to that.
I didn't like accommodate him or anything, but he's definitely one of those people in my mind that I think of, like, just caring about someone or touching base with them or looking forward to conversations. Like, I make sure that we're friends because, like, he ain't trying to see me like that, and that's fine. But I love him like 100%.
In love.
I don't know, maybe. I think so, like 15 years plus. There's another
It
guy.
just sound like you got some stuff to figure out.
What?
That's what it sound like.
That just sound like a crush. That sound like just like I don't know. Like you catching feelings, but that's not love.
Here's my other question I had, because y'all were talking and it made me think about the way you guys maneuver is not what these dudes do with me. So I have a guy who, and we're talking about 15 plus years. He will DM me or text me every single day, at least 3 times a week.
No, that's too much.
And you entertain that?
I mean, I don't respond all the time, but sometimes I might double tap for the love icon or say thanks, babe, or whatever.
My man keeping it warm. That's what
to
he's
me,
doing.
like, but I feel like, okay, so we had a love.
Again, that goes to that friendship topic. We need the friend zone topic. We need to get into.
We have a love. Like, we were in love. It didn't work out relationship-wise just because life didn't allow it to happen.
Sure.
So, like, I'm not looking for that for him. But I do think from his point, he is still in love with me, even though he's moved on with somebody else.
So there has to be this respect barrier. Because like I said, like my ex has a husband now. And when we communicate, I'm not saying babe. I'm not saying any of that. I'm not saying, hey, you remember back in the day? Never crossing that boundary.
So what is that then? What is he doing?
What he's doing, he keeping it warm.
That's friend zone.
For 15 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all women do it all the time.
Yeah. Come on.
Women
Hey,
do that.
you can
all
have
that all the time.
Y'all can have a whole show about aren't they?
Oh
It's
my
on
God,
it's on
y'all
TV.
do
You
it
don't
all
hold
the
that for
time,
10 plus
man.
years.
Women do.
You don't
Women
keep
do
it
that.
Women do.
Women
10
do
plus.
that.
No. Do men do that though? Y'all don't do that for 10 plus
Not because
years.
because
somebody that might respond or might not respond.
Negroes do this type of stuff. And Negroes is more of like
Look.
a pride thing, like it's a chase thing.
my father probably did it. That's why he got
that 1960s. days?
exactly where you have 4 to 5 different families.
Okay.
So men do it. What he's doing is keeping the pot warm.
Well, from my end, I
Women do that
don't.
all
I
the
don't.
Oh, women do it
entertain
too.
I don't say anything. But in my head, it's always like, well, we're friends,
So-
and clearly he has feelings.
so-
So I'm not going to stop him from.
What would happen if you got into a serious relationship with somebody that you're in love with and he's still DMing you that?
Well, I would every time I've gotten into a relationship. This has been going on for a long time. I say I'm in a relationship. Like, you can't send me this.
Does he chill?
He'll chill, and then he'll find out I'm.
What? The man is keeping the pot warm.
Just block him. Just block him.
But we do like have. To me, it's like it is like that. Like, oh yeah,
Oh,
he's.
God. Y'all feel y'all can see me right now?
Oh, I'm embarrassed now. I'm not gonna do this. I'm
Why?
the only one.
Why?
I maintain long. I just thought it was like maintaining long.
You keeping the just in cases.
Me? I don't want none of that.
Nah,
I
that's-
don't want it.
So why don't block it then?
Because I don't hate him. It's not
So
like
what?
he ended badly. It's not.
I don't think you need to block him, but like there has to be a respect or a boundary or something like that. If I don't know, because I know if I came at my ex like that, that would be mega disrespectful.
That's disrespectful.
And she would probably block me or probably never respond
I feel
back.
about his significant other. I'm like, I don't know why. And I've challenged him, like, if, like, I've sent him the song, like, If Your Girl Only Knew.
Oh,
like,
that's my jam.
Why? Like, do you not know this is messy?
He knows what he's doing.
I've curved it sometimes too, where I've been like, you know, I'm just gonna like, I'm not gonna respond. And then, you know, it's just been a long time. So like, just, I don't know, like after a while, we'll start texting about something different.
Nah.
That's me breathing heavy in the mic.
He knows what he's doing. Do you know what he's doing?
Do you know what you're doing?
I 100% know what he's doing. I know what I'm not doing anything.
So I don't understand why you can't just kick him to the corner, let him text you every now and then.
He's not the only one, though.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. If you're gonna move forward in life, I don't know what type of dudes that you would talk to, but me, if I saw that, I would question you.
Okay.
That would be disrespectful.
I would question. I'm like, yo, why are you keeping in touch with all these Negroes that you dealt with? Like, what are you holding on to? Because it's not like you and him are having coffee every day, and he has
I'm not holding on to
influence in your life.
I don't know how to like
let go.
Yeah, I guess I could be like, I'm gonna block you today, and I
Let
guess
go.
I always thought like,
you'll
why?
still breathe tomorrow.
Again,
You'll be fine.
I don't think it needs to be blocked. I just think like the boundary, if you're just giving him what he wants, so he's going to keep giving.
Yeah.
He's going to keep sending it.
That's the reason why I say block, because if you entertain it, men will continuously come after it, because there's like, that little door is open.
Yeah, the pot's warm.
She'll come in, and if I'm feeling a little ways,
I'm gonna be like, I'm in town.
Exactly.
I'm in town. That's the out of town chick.
The men are teaching. I am taking note. Women, please take note. I don't know if there's anyone in my shoes.
All the women are probably like, girl.
They're probably like, girl, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, this is just a lesson for me. Okay, I got it. Receive.
Because on the low, they doing it too.
Let's take a quick break, and we'll come back and keep the combo going. But I wasn't running away from the message. You guys were teaching me some things. I've taken note. I appreciate it.
Here's the thing: is that like this is most people know this, and most people know what they're doing. Some people don't, for sure, but majority of people know what they're doing. Now, this is going to go into something that we were just talking about, right?
Okay.
Because females do this, and they do it all the time. They get a good dude, right? They get a good dude, but the dude is boring to them or whatever, right? So they want to go and play the field. They want to go ahead and get that roughneck, that hood dude, the one that shoots them with all the game and whatnot. And then what do they do to the good guy? They don't cut him completely off. No.
It's a Tyler Perry movie.
Right. What they do is they keep him. They keep him. That's why I don't watch Tyler Perry. Because it's a bunch of nonsense.
It is.
It's like, there's no way. But they keep that one on the side, right? And then when the one that they wanted to go for, the one with the swag, right, cuts them loose, or they find out that he's doing the same thing to 4 or 5 other ones, then guess who they hitting back up? Hey, what's going on? I was thinking about you. Yeah.
Has that happened to you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Good 95% of the time that happens.
I mean, like when I was younger, like now, I mean, I guess I'll put this out there, but now, so there's this one chick. I ain't gonna say names, obviously, but there's one chick, and I find it's
Becca.
funny to me. Nah, it's funny to me because I know what's going on. It's like she has a dude she's on and off with. And, like, the second they're off, like, she finds different, like, ways to message me and, like, talk to me. But then the second they're back on, she, like, blocks me on everything. And
like
I'm like...
Block or
yeah.
just...
No, she'll block me on everything. And I'm like... And then she'll unblock me. And I'm like, why do you keep doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's not hurt. I laugh at it every single time. But I'm just like, this is... Like, at some point, you got to figure out where you going, girl. You got to figure out what you're doing. Because this is foolishness.
Ladies, if you do this, listen to the men.
Yeah, one shorty I knew, she would go complete. She would take me off of Instagram, right? And you know that she take you off of Instagram. I know she got a man now, right?
Yeah, we all know.
But
that.
then guess what? When she takes her profile off private, and hey, how's it going?
Yep.
I'm like, they're having problems.
Yep. And then they'll be back together in like 2 weeks. So it's like, what are you doing?
Exactly. And then their whole profile will go back to private. That completely tells me that you're totally unsure of your relationship.
Ladies, they can tell.
Yeah.
You're playing games. Don't do it. I don't know what it is you're talking about because I've never done that.
You've done it, but you didn't know you did it.
I've never done that. I've never done that.
I know that sometimes you have told me that there's some men that you've dated, but you were not interested in.
Okay.
What did you do with those men?
We're friends.
In the friend zone.
But I told them we're friends.
The friends.
We've made it clear we're friends.
Look, and this is what us guys know.
And I've had the conversation like, I like you. And this is what I'll do. I'm not like every chick. This is what I'll do. I'll say, you know what? I like what this is like that Tinder phase I went through. Like, I really enjoyed our last date. I would like to take you on a date. Because I know that they spend a lot of money. You ain't finna get no.
Look, I got an experiment.
You ain't finna get nothing.
Why are you keeping friends with
I got an experiment.
Because I like
Look, no.
they're cool
listen,
guys.
ladies.
Like, we have the same interests.
Listen, ladies, listen.
That's so crazy.
If y'all are sitting there like Jennifer being oblivious to what it really is, do this experiment. Text every single one of your male friends what you doing tonight. Come through.
That's not true.
And every single one of them. Not okay. There may be a few, but 90% of them, especially ones that you like, I like them, but now he's going to be in my friend zone. To make Jonathan's point, text every single one of those type and see that they all pull up or want to pull up. Be like, word.
For other women,
no,
that is not true for me.
Do the experiment.
No, I don't have to.
Nah, do it
Y'all
for
are my friends.
Do it for the.
They're my friends.
Do
it for the podcast.
Yeah.
They're all my friends.
Pull
Y'all
it up.
think I'm playing
Let's
games?
do it right.
Don't want to be with me. This is
girl. Let's do it
for the listener.
Girl, let's do it.
I'm talking about the ones that you put in the friend zone.
That's what we talk about. Now go ahead and hit them
like
up.
A whole lot of them.
I don't see how you do this crap. I really don't. Like, I tried Tinder for a month, and it was the most insane.
I tried it for like a month too.
It was the most
great.
insane thing.
I'm blocked.
Right? And I don't talk to him.
From Tinder?
Yeah, I'm blocked on Tinder.
What kind of?
I was promoting an event. So girls can sell their ass on Tinder, but I can't promote an
It's
event.
a double standard for a guy. Yeah.
I got blocked for life. Life. I have a lifetime block on Tinder. Yeah.
It's trash anyway.
It is.
I got my shorty. I thank God for it because it's hard out there, and I don't know how you do that, especially with Tinder. Why are you friends with people with Tinder? Like Tinder is like a dumpster fire for like the worst people to date.
Well, let me clarify. There's some people I met that I was like, first of all, this picture don't look like you, sir.
No.
So, second of all, you're definitely 3 inches shorter than you said you were. And you were already short because I was giving you a chance at 5'7".
See, and y'all got these prerequisites.
I think Hinge, if we talking social dating apps, Hinge probably has the best quality until more people figure out about it. Then the quality will go down.
Well, I just left that online dating world behind years ago, but maybe I might try that in the future.
I found mine online, so.
But there were some people I met on Tinder that. Wait, you met her online? Mm-hmm. What'd you use?
I don't know. I was on like 3-4. Something said, I said, nah, I don't want to do it. Something said, give it 30 days. Yeah. I was like, all right, cool. I did 30 days, and I got one. I was like, no, this is that one. I'm going to stick with this one.
Wow.
That's really all you need. Like I said, Tinder's quality was terrible, but you knew what you was doing on Tinder. Like, Hinge is one that has really great, like, most of the people on it. I mean, the way you can categorize and set your standards and stuff like that, you can have a dope weeding out process and all of this stuff like that. People like, oh, I enjoy in person better, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, man, that can waste a lot of time. And we don't got that much time.
And this podcast has been sponsored by Hinge.
Hey, no, man. Shouts out to Hinge. Shouts out to Hinge, man.
Hey, you can use some sponsors around here.
Yeah.
100%.
Hit us up.
Hey, for real. Send this to them.
Some of the guys I met are like straight up nerds. Because if I put certain things in my profile and people like match with it, they end up becoming friends. Like, it's like a dude, like, you know, like, clearly I'm not, you're 28, you look like you're 12. I'm sure you don't own a suit. We're friends. Like, from the first date I could tell, like, we're having a good time, but you're going to be a good friend. So that's how those turn into things. And they're not like friends I maintain. Like, they find me on social media, like on Instagram, and they might like a picture or like send me like, you know, Attack on Titan is going to come out next week. Like, are you excited? You know, so it's just really just low-level friendship. Like, I wouldn't even call them, like, they're not friends like I would call you guys friends. You know what I'm saying? They're just, like, more people I've met in life.
Acquaintances.
100%. Yeah.
Okay. So then, on that note, right, you're on these websites, and we know what we're looking for, right? Because dating is a prerequisite. It's an interview for... Can this go somewhere, right, for long term? Women, and I can't say that you're because every person has their different taste and whatnot. What is your ideal husband type of thing? Like, what does he look like?
Oh my God.
What values does he have?
Why are you asking me that?
That whole well, I mean, have you thought about it?
Yes.
All right, so it's going to be interesting to hear it.
It's just funny
and is it going to be complete nonsense?
Why would you even try my life like that?
Because I'm going to match it to what you're doing.
He just needs to be nice. He just needs to be nice.
No, don't give me no BS. I want to know height.
That's an inside joke between me and Q.
I want to know height. Oh. I want to know height. What's the rundown?
Well,
6'8".
No.
Jesus Christ.
I think that there are some women that are, and I just had a conversation with a friend today who was telling me she has a laundry list. It's like a 27 numbered list, and it's very specific.
Interesting.
I've done those lists before, but I honestly did it from a place of not knowing what I actually wanted. I made a list based on stuff I've dealt with that I don't want. So I think I'm a little different than other women. We've talked about this before, even on the show, Jonathan. You've known my situations. None of them there's no type. They're all the gamut.
She has a theme.
What theme?
I don't know. That's what
they're ugly.
No, that's what people.
Some of them were busted.
No. What I was saying.
Oh my God. dudes.
What I was saying, what I mean by theme is just like, since they're all different, you just have a theme at a different point since they're all different. So you just change theme.
Yeah. I didn't know what I wanted. So I've dated tall, short, fat, skinny. Like, I've dated young, old. Like, I've never had a type because I didn't know what I was looking for. So recently, I've been really trying to figure out what it is that I actually want versus making a list based off stuff I've dealt with. So, like, I've done that list before, like, oh, you got to be 5'11", you got to be, like, I like thick guys, you got to be thick, dark. I love dark dudes, like dark-skinned guys.
Yeah.
You know, you got to make a certain amount of money. And, you know, I've done that, too, because I've dealt with what? Broke, ugly, short, pretty boy, light skin. Like, nothing wrong with light skin dudes, by the way. But, you know, I've dealt with that whole thing. And so you end up making a list based on what you dealt with versus what you actually want. I don't know what I want. So recently, I finally, like, I've been doing this leadership class that's faith-based. Thank God for the place I work for. They're paying for it because it's, like, mad expensive. And they did this whole lesson on relationships, and not just, like all types, like friendships and family, like how to maintain it. So the first thing, I want someone who picks up on my feelings of weakness and prays with me. And the reason why I was nervous about that was because I'd actually have to show when I'm weak. And I was like, oh, my God, I don't do that enough. I don't do that with my friends. Like, I'm the friend that's calling on other people like, hey, man, you look sad, or like, I heard this is going on. Like, what's up? People have no clue when I'm weak. And I always battle that by myself. And so to be in a relationship with a man who could actually tell when I'm weak would require me to be vulnerable enough to show that. So I was like, oh, my God, Jesus, I'm not ready. Am I ready to be with somebody? Like, you know, like, I have to work on that. But I do need that because, like, when I am weak, I wish I had someone in my life to be like, let's pray. You know, someone who is quick to tell me when they see the power of God working in my life. So, like, I love, like, somebody that could be like, girl, don't you see all the things that you're doing? Like, it's coming together. Or, like, you see how the universe brought this to you? I do that for other people, but I don't have that happen to me a lot.
That's dope.
And it's motivational, I feel like.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. And then the third one is, God is meant to speak to me through this person.
Preaching.
You know, I want somebody to be able to speak life into me. So.
It's crazy because that's the same thing I was looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah. The woman I'm with now, like, I've never had somebody come in, and Lord knows what will happen, but I will still praise her for this. She will call me just out of the blue and says, you're a good man. Like, I'm just proud of you. Like you don't understand what God is going to do for you because you do this, and you're this. I'm like, what? I never had a woman just openly just pour strength into me like that. You know what I mean? And have faith in me like that. I was like, well, it was confusing. I never, ever had that.
Not someone that you also wanted to jump their bones. I think that's something unique. Because, like, I have that with friends. But someone that you also, like, revere, like, that's my man.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of feeling. So for you, it's like, that's my woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love her like a spouse.
I chose her because of that, though.
That's the dopeness of it, you know?
Yeah, I find that extremely rare.
Yeah.
A rare thing for somebody to just, instead of being superficial, the American dream and whatnot, I think we get caught up in media so much that we think that life is what America tells us life is. And we forget about just the small things. Like, is this person encouraging you to move forward and be a better person in life?
I agree. And the things you want for someone has to require change in you to receive it.
Some people also got to be mature enough to have a partner who is trying to push them to be the best that they can be.
I agree.
Because some people like to. That's why they get somebody who doesn't challenge them.
Yeah.
Because they're not open to. It's like they want to hold themselves back. Yeah. Or like, I mean, there's been a situation, I'm not going to give names or anything, but where a girl told me, like, a friend I knew was trying to, like, hey, you should go on this date with this guy. He's nice. He does this. This is what this. And she said, she was like, no, he's too successful for me.
Oh, wow.
And that was like,
The heck does that mean?
It blew my mind. I was just like, that was the most traumatic thing. That, like, wow, how could you even say that about yourself?
Guys have said that about, they haven't said it in that way, but they've said, like, you intimidate me.
Yes.
So I think that's a guy thing. I've never heard that with a female to male.
I've had a woman tell me, she told me, she was like, I just feel as you have your life together more than what
Wow.
And she was like, I don't want to do that because I feel as I'll be bringing too much baggage to you. And, you know, I high five her for saying, you know, let a nigga know something.
For sure.
Hey, all
She
right.
got some issues.
Okay,
most
but
women wouldn't do that. They
No.
would be like, you got your stuff together. I'm going to need that.
I'm
I
a claw on that, you
I
know.
need you to take care of me and set me straight. Like, so it's crazy that she even came from that angle.
Yeah, so that was, you know, it happens. And,
That's rare.
But you also got to be at that point where you can be vulnerable enough so that you can accept somebody trying to push you to be great and also help you to be great. Like, no, you don't need somebody to do that. You have to want to be great on your own, but somebody else who's behind you to keep motivating you when you get down, like, you got to want that. You got to be ready to accept that. And a lot of people aren't because they get defensive.
Let's transition into this next topic of accountability.
Yeah, because we've been on one topic.
This is a great segue, huh?
We've been on one topic for
on one
48
topic.
Well, that one
It's about to
topic
be
had
two
like
parts.
3 subsets.
Yeah.
But you're talking about, what you're talking about reminds me of our previous conversation on accountability and how a lot of women don't know how to receive. Like, they just never been checked their entire life. And so when a man is finally like, hey, don't do that, or that's not great, they don't know how to receive it.
Because every single woman thinks they are the best thing to ever happen to any guy they've ever talked to.
Or they think so less of men.
Yes.
That
Or
even
they're
though
just insecure.
That too. To where if you say something, you point it out, they will do all kinds of gymnastics to not take any acceptance or any fault or anything.
defend their behavior.
Yep. Yeah. And then you will be the one that's not shit. You'll be the one that's the bad guy. You'll be that, so they can continue to keep their ego up.
Let me share, and I told you this, Q, already, but let me go ahead and share how I was talking to this one dude for this span of time, and it was not a relationship, it wasn't nothing serious. We just used to hang out. And he was the first man to ever check me because I had never been held to a particular standard. And, you know, I've never had like a bunch of relationships. I've had 3 major relationships my entire life. And so most of the time I'm just like hanging out with people for 3 or 4 months at a time. And so I've never had an opportunity for a man to be like, don't do that. Like, don't be an a-hole.
Simmer down.
Simmer down. I had never been checked like that. And I didn't even know that I grew up with brothers. All my friends were men. So, like, I crack jokes like a dude. And, a lot of my joking references come from a New York mentality. So you finna get this, like, roast. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, first of all, like, you supposed to be, like, my thing right now. Like, we trying to see if this could work. And you making fun of me in front of people is not a good look. Like, so he used to, like, just completely check me. And I was in a space at that time to receive the feedback. There were sometimes I would challenge him and be like, well, why are you so sensitive? It's just a joke. But he used to handle me with such calmness that I just like, honestly, it was sexy as hell, quite frankly. And I long for that. Like, I would love to have a man and be like, yo, no, like, don't do that. And I'm like, well, here's why I did it. And they're like, no, here's why you should not. Even though you said what you just said, here's why you still shouldn't.
That's a burden on us.
And you'll do it anyway.
It's not a burden. Like, we're checking each other, right? Like, I'm also helping you.
I mean, I guess it depends on the amount of times that has to happen. If it's happening every week or every time y'all are doing an outing, then that's a burden. But, like, a guy really does not, because me, like, now I'm getting to the age where I'm like, if I have to really do that with a woman on a consistent basis, I don't want her at all, because I'm not here to teach. I do that and I get paid to do that.
Who's going to hold us accountable, though?
We'll hold you accountable, but it shouldn't be every week. I don't want to build you. I'm no longer building you into building you into this thing. Like, I'm no longer trying to change your psychology like that, like build you into a woman. You should be a woman now.
It's funny you say that because women think the same thing about y'all. Like, it's the same thing.
Yeah, I don't agree with it. I don't agree with that. Not 100%. I can understand it. I don't know if I can agree with it. Because relationships is two people meeting at one particular point together, right? It's not me meeting you way up in the air and you meeting me way down at the bottom.
Definitely.
That's not the way that it works. So what we're doing is we're trying to tell somebody who's lived their life for 20 plus years, right, to now accommodate and change to my behaviors, to speak to me in the way that I like to be spoken to. And it's not going to happen overnight. Therefore, I need to check you and you need to check me because we're both in this relationship to work. So you're telling me, if you tell me, honey, I don't like it when you do this specific thing. Guess what? I'm not going to get it the first time. So, it's going to take multiple times for me to get it, especially the way that I communicate. It's going to take me some time.
So I don't even consider that checking.
Okay.
I think that's different too.
Yeah, I don't, because I consider checking where it's like, here, come here, sit down next to me. Look, now we're going to do this. We're going to map this whole thing out. This is what you did. Let's start from the beginning. Right. This is what you did. This is how it made me feel. This is how it appeared to them. This is how it appeared to them. This is how it appears to them. When I'm giving you all these different when I'm teaching, like, this is a deep-rooted quality in you that I now have to change, like, gut it out of you and change. And I'm giving you examples and I'm giving you multiple perspectives on how to be a better, like that. Like, when it's like, oh, you said this, blah, blah. All right, fine, cool. All right, all right, yeah, I'm going to work on that, bet. But if it's like something where I'm
context, because in your situation, Jennifer, like, that's the check I'm talking about. Because you're used to that.
Don't talk to me like this. It was, you were being an a-hole the whole night, and yes, people were laughing, but you lack so much self-averence. You don't understand. You were making all of us feel uncomfortable.
Correct, and I agree with that.
That was just bad behavior on my part,
right?
Versus like, this is how you should talk to me because I prefer if you whisper when you talk because I get
No. Because it's broader. It's way broader than that.
He was teaching me self-awareness. He was teaching me accountability and responsibility, and honestly, it was an overall lesson of humility. Like, Jennifer, you're not always right.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa. First of all, sir, I ain't never had nobody quote Frederick Douglass on me like that, so I'm not prepared. Like, he quoting stuff and like we're connecting. Like, he was literally like teaching me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he was like trying to model for me like just good conversations because I just never had that before.
And let's be clear. Like,
he's still a friend, y'all.
Yeah, let's be clear. In a relationship, you do have to because I was saying earlier, you want somebody who can build. You want them to be successful and things like that. But when it comes to checking, it's usually something that could end a relationship.
Okay.
That's what they're checking you, so they're like, do not do this again because this is probably such a terrible quality that you don't even realize is so bad that I'm here now to teach you. Don't do this. And I'm like, as you get older as a man,
that with guys too.
As you get older as a man, you just it's done. You're like, I'm not here to teach like that. It's like, if they did something that wasn't going to end the relationship, it was something that was like, okay, I didn't really, I didn't like that, so I'm going to talk to you. But I don't see that as checking. But what I see checking is just like you over here texting some dude and receiving pictures. You know what I'm saying? That's what I see checking as. Okay, you're receiving pictures from this dude at 3 a.m. Y'all having a conversation. You and I'm going to check you and be like, hey, that's not really cool. This is how it's making me feel. As a 30-year-old, 34-year-old, why am I telling you this?
Yeah, no, I won't even check you. I'll just get your back.
Exactly. So that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. Where I'm too old for that now.
Yes.
And
women don't want that from their men either, because we got to deal with that stuff too. Because not you guys, but y'all in the general sense. I'm like, why are you doing that? Or why don't you have a car and a phone at the same time? Like, I don't understand. Like,
a what? A car and a phone?
And a phone.
Oh my
because
God.
It's COVID-19.
Yeah. Life's hard out
people.
Here.
No judgment on anybody. I'm just saying, like, that's the kind of checking, like, oh, this ain't going to work.
And I wanted to clarify
what if he was saving for a business?
How much you guys say?
A lot.
I'm working on that. If it's a lot, okay. If you have $100,000 saved,
That's a lot of money saved.
that's what he said. A lot.
Oh.
Remember, y'all 3-figure dudes. Y'all don't take girls out for 3 figures. So I don't know what a lot means to you.
And by the way, I didn't take my shorty out for 3 figures on the first date. I did not.
Okay, okay, because you don't have to.
You don't have to.
And you shouldn't.
It was a connection, and we found it over just doing normal things.
But don't say you
Boom.
shouldn't.
Nah, I mean, you shouldn't on the first date.
If you can afford it, you can.
Then back to that episode, y'all women should be very weary of somebody doing that.
If I can spend 3 figures on myself at a dinner, I just don't see why.
Yourself is way more valuable than a random person that I'm just meeting for the first time.
That's fine.
I ain't spending hundreds on a person I'm just meeting for the very first, even if I got it, because I'm not trying to.
Why we get back here all the time we talk? Every time we talk.
Why I got to be about money?
My God.
Why we got to be buying it?
I didn't start it. It wasn't me.
We're going to repeat the same thing we said the last episode.
But segueing back, I just wanted to clarify that because I know earlier I was saying, you want somebody who can build you up, you can grow with and things like that. I didn't want people to get that twisted.
I agree. Because I use the word, I would like for somebody to check me, but I'm not, guys don't ever have to check me on like basic stuff. Like, I'm not cheating on you, I'm not lying to you, I'm not entertaining dudes, but like, by all means, like, that is kind of low-key sexy to me. And not everybody can do it, too, because I got to, like, believe in you. So there's that element.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
You can't just be teaching stuff, and your whole life is chaotic, like, you know what I'm saying? But, like, a man that kind of has it together, or I feel like is spiritually minded, or has really good core values, and they're like, I need to talk to you about something you did, and here's how it affected me, or here's how it came off as other people, or hear how it's going to impact you negatively. And I'm just like, okay, Daddy, tell me more.
Oh, my God.
First I want to be like, wait, what? And then I'm going to be like, oh, okay, I heard you. I received that. What you want to eat for dinner tonight?
Yo, but there's a lot of women who will receive that and get defensive about it. Mm-hmm. And then they learn nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
that's a thing.
I can understand. I don't excuse it because, especially if I'm speaking to black and brown women.
Yeah.
Because of how they've been treated in society, they've had to build up themselves in a specific way, and for you to knock them down that way, you know what I'm saying? It's most likely you're going to get defensive.
Let's not use that knockdown term.
I don't excuse it.
Let's say real opening the skin or something like that. Because people in terms.
We're not trying to knock you down. What we're trying to do is build.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But they don't see it that way.
Yeah. I would like everybody to listen to the episode with Rudy Darden called Being a Gender Ally. He talks about that thing. He calls it the wall of distrust. So like black women, because of their trauma historically, and it's ingrained in them in their DNA and their genetics, right, that they have historically been exploited, taken advantage of, and just ignored. So sometimes you come to them with information and they're just like, why do I have to trust you? Why do I have to believe what you're saying? Or they get immediately defensive. And his whole thing was like being a gender ally. When he's met with that wall of distrust, he doesn't immediately give up. He'll realign his relationship to you and wait for your cue. But he's not going to be scared away from it. And he's also not going to try to knock it down. It's not his job. That's my work I got to do on my own time. So if anybody listened to that episode when he talks about that concept of the wall of distrust, because it's a real thing, and a lot of us black women are burdened by it.
And that's why I say let's not use the term knock down, because that it's super heavy on that topic. It has to be like, just either peeling back the skin or something like that, where it's like taking away that thick layer, like not even taking it away, just moving it to the side. Like let a little bit of soft come in.
Yeah.
But it's all raw though. It's gonna come up like
let a little see. You gotta have a little area for that to come through, because that's development.
Yeah.
So
not everybody's ready. Like I for my example with my person, I was ready at that time, and I'm still ready now. But not every woman is there. Like not every woman is ready to receive that in that way, and some of them need a little bit more care and patience.
So how much time do you give them?
I don't know.
Because it does get a little bit frustrating for a man.
Yeah.
And not every man, especially men that are headstrong,
got the
and feel
time.
like they have their heads together, are going to give too much time to
because
them.
they're like, I can find somebody else.
Correct.
Totally understand. I can understand.
And
then black and brown women, if they see that one person goes to a different culture or a different race,
it hurts.
They get all up in arms. You're a traitor, you're this, you're that, whatever. And it's not really about what her skin is like.
Mm-hmm.
It's about, when me and her communicate, when we talk, there's a connection there. We are able to vibe on a level that I was trying to vibe with you. But unfortunately, I kept bumping my head into a wall. And then I got somebody who just opened.
And I can't comment on anybody's personal decisions in life, but I can tell you it hurts each and every time. And that's just something that black women have to just deal with. That's a part of our existence.
It's such a deep topic,
it hurts
too.
Every single time. But if black women have the wall of distrust, I feel like black men have the wall of economics, because it's the same thing. Because
black men have a wall.
Well, okay, if y'all have an emotional wall, that's fine. But y'all also have, if we're doing a apples to apples thing, y'all have the economic wall. Sis, you know that women have been disenfranchised. You know that I'm trying to come up. I'm in my 30s. I'm still figuring it out because of all of the things in society that's keeping me behind. And women have to make a decision too. How long do I have to wait? It's the same thing almost. You know what I'm saying? I want to give you the benefit of the doubt, but also I don't know. Some women are in their 30s and they're I gotta have a baby, or I gotta get married, or
I think you'll know, because there's a difference between a man and a woman who's out there actually busting their ass grinding than somebody who's just saying and pretending. There's a huge difference.
Yeah, there's a huge difference, but it's also, there's a reality of for me being 34, if you are just on your come up, I believe in you, but I don't have the physical energy, honestly. I don't. To navigate that world for someone in their 30s. If we're at the same age, but you're financially or visionarily 10 years behind because you're just figuring it out because of all the things in your life, I could support you in a different kind of way. I can't be in... Maybe if I was in my 20s, I could, and I did in my 20s, my whole entire 20s. But at this stage, I don't have the money. I don't have the time.
And I think
I don't have any of that.
I think that's cool to an extent. If that person is really if that person is doing what we did in high school, where it's bro, I gotta work at fast food so I can get myself a little beater so that I could get and then I'm about to go to college and they're 35. Then it's what did you do the last 15 years? Were you in jail? What happened?
You're right.
So for you to say, I don't want somebody who just got out of jail who's trying to get their life together, I think that's okay. I think it's okay.
Okay, no. You're right. Because if it was a man who is maintaining his bills, maintaining his life, but still Jen, I got this idea. It's raw. But everything is maintained, but I got to make sacrifices. I can't take trips right now because I'm trying to build. I can't do this right now because I'm going back to school. That's
completely different than somebody who man, I ain't even graduate high school. I got to go get my high school diploma.
That right there, I believe in you.
Yeah. But
I ain't trying to be in a relationship with you.
If a woman doesn't want to do that at 34, 35, dope. I think that's high five her, because you shouldn't.
You shouldn't have to do that. But in the same token, when we speak about our people, a lot of people just haven't had that, and it's because, and I'm saying this because this is the nature of what I do for work. A lot of them don't have someone to guide them and show them this specific way to go. Maybe you are that light to show them. Should you have to do it? No. But somebody's going to have to.
I've done that my entire 20s. The 3 relationships I talked about, that's what I did.
That's a burden.
It's exhausting.
And
I have no I want that now. I want what I poured into people. I would love to be on the receiving end of that.
Again, that's what we're saying. Meeting, like I'm not here to meet you way up in the sky, and you're not here to meet me way in the ground.
Same level.
And I think in that example you were making, that takes a village. That doesn't take one person. One person shouldn't share the brunt of that burden.
Are you preaching?
No, I'm not. I don't do any of that.
He said it takes a village.
It does, because for somebody who had a terrible life, like got into some messed up stuff or whatever when they were younger, and like, you know, a black man did dirt and then he's getting out, or I don't know why I'm comparing it to jail, but like that's how I can only feel like if you're 35 and you don't have a high school, you don't have anything, like you're just getting out of jail in my head. So if you're just jumping out and you know, you got to do, your friends are going to hold you down, maybe your family. If you don't have any of that, like you're going to have to grind. Maybe you could try to get a therapist. I don't know, like but one woman shouldn't hold that burden to try to build you up from scratch. Or
being an ally.
I don't know. I mean, and I'm an ally for my men too. And I know,
but women need to hear that you cannot be the village.
No,
and you're exhausted for a reason, sis.
Yeah, that's true.
You're exhausted for a reason. And to Jonathan's point, y'all not on the same level.
Yeah.
That's why you're so tired and stressed.
Yeah, and if a man's in that situation and a man, if that's what you want, you need to start changing your mindset, and you need to have some accountability for what you did back then and try to build yourself up to an extent of where, you know, it doesn't take somebody to motivate you to go get your high school diploma so you can get a better job than working at fast food. That takes yourself. You don't need any. If you need somebody else to push you to do that, then you got a bunch of work, man. And it shouldn't be a woman to build you to such a minimal level.
What are the inner resources you already inhabit that you have that's going to help you feel self-motivated? Like, and it's okay for outside motivation if it happens, but you also already have that intrinsic thing, that quality within you that's pushing you towards it too. Like, it has to be both.
And boy, if y'all find a woman who is doing it, y'all better not fuck off. I don't know if I can say that on it.
But the problem is usually the men who are with women like that, they usually are doing it on the side.
Yeah.
I have friends right now, no names, that complain about their man every day. Oh, he always going to the club and he doing this, he doing that, and he's not wanting to grow, and I'm trying to go to school and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And I say, leave him.
Yeah.
No. Oh yeah, you're right. But then guess what? You go on their page a couple of days later, who they with at the club? They're with him. They're enabling the behavior, right? And then when you check them and you try to find out what's going on, a lot of them are insecure.
Yeah.
They're insecure and they don't want to let go because they feel like that's all they're worth.
It. And
that's
like
all they're going to get.
This is it. If I miss this is it. The train is gone. Like,
we need to work on ourselves.
Can you imagine as a woman, and this, I felt that feeling in your 20s that this is it, and the thing you crying over is ugly. It's an ugly man, honey. This ain't it. Can you imagine? And we out here in these streets really tripping like this is it. If this don't work out, sis, I don't know if you need to hear this right now, but let him go. He's an ugly man.
Definitely.
You're crying over an ugly man.
It ain't even got to be about.
Even if he's
good looking.
Even if he's good looking,
girl, he ain't got no high school diploma. Let him grow and come back.
Like, even if it hurts, you only going to be hurt for what, 2 weeks before you find somebody and be like, damn, this is what I was missing.
You will get over it. Yeah.
Because if you got your stuff together and he's just dragging you down, why do you want to go down?
Something you said, Jonathan, or Q, I actually thought of something else. When Jonathan brought in the angle about the woman's perspective, I was thinking about the male's perspective. Like, if you're in a situation where the woman is pushing you, she 100% probably has control over everything. So if you fall out of line, you messing up.
I've never been in that situation before, so I don't know.
I mean, I'm just assuming, like, can you imagine, like, if you came into something from a place of deficiency, you coming in with nothing, and the woman is like, you need to do X, Y, and Z, this will help you. And you start, because she's motivating you, you feel good about it, she feeding you, giving you good, whatever. You best believe that is an uneven relationship. It's going to turn into, why didn't you go to class today?
Why didn't you
do it in this way?
But what I've normally seen is the opposite, where the man's taking advantage of her because she's just pouring.
Oh, and she thinks she in control because she yelling all the time. Mm-hmm. But in reality, he's the one playing.
And he
around.
like, she ain't going nowhere.
Well, on the low. On the low,
But
he got about 3 or 4.
That's what I've observed. I've usually haven't.
On the low, he got 3 or 4 women on the side.
I haven't usually observed it. Like, I haven't been in that situation, but I haven't observed it the opposite. Usually the man, like the woman, it's almost like a false sense of control or security. The man usually is in control because he gets comfortable. And that's why, on what Jonathan was saying, with a woman sitting there telling him, like, you know, he does this, he always does this, he doesn't want to get better, and I'm over here struggling, blah, I'm doing it, or I'm not struggling, but I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and they, blah, 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 he doesn't take accountability, and blah, 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 blah. That's usually what I see. The man just takes advantage of it.
And we said this in one of the other podcasts. It's like you women make us with that. Like, if you allow that, guess what? We're going to know to continue doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when you cut it off and finalize it,
that's the accountability.
That man has to learn.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to learn. He's going to be like, oh, crap, I can't keep doing this because the next person I do this with, because that pain is a reminder. You know what I mean? Relationship pain is a reminder. And every time you get with another female, you're going to remember that pain. You're going to be like, I'm not doing that again.
Have you ever been cut off from someone that you really like, oh, I like her, and then you was playing around, and then she was like, nah?
I'm not the playing around type.
Oh, okay.
Again, I'm a jerk. I don't have patience.
You ain't ever been cut off?
Nah.
Oh.
We're the wrong people to do this podcast with.
No, this is a clear message. Women, we have to cut dudes off. Please hold them accountable. And not to say that y'all have ever done anything wrong, but I think that is a good message, that because we were just a while ago talking about, you know, being checked. Like, y'all got to check dudes too. Like, don't tolerate improper behavior or any trauma to your soul. If they not acting right, cut that off.
I had one. Okay, I have one. So this was in a time, so I was with somebody for years, and I had children, twin girls, right? And it was always a battle, back and forth. And I said, you know what, I'm done. Because this is terrible. This is the worst thing I've ever been through in my life. So I got with one woman, right? And that woman was into me. But at the same time, she was playing this. I told her, listen, let's get to know each other.
In betweeners, I don't know this one.
Listen. I was like, listen, I'm just getting out of this certain thing. I'm not in to jump into this whole full relationship right now. I know that. I'm cool with that. That's what she's telling me. I'm good with that. Right? So be it, my ex comes back. And she's trying to do some things. And I'm telling her that, and she lost it. And she was like, oh, you played me for a fool and that. And she cut me completely off.
She got to take accountability, though.
She cut me completely off. That's the only one that I can say in my mind, other than like in high school, you know what I mean? Like in high school, but that changed my life. Like in high school, I had a girl and you know, there's a party, and then, you know, I basically slept in the same bed. I didn't sleep with this person, but I made it seem like that because we were dumb. We're in high school.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm with the boys. I'm like, oh, yeah. And then one of those boys goes and tells her.
He wasn't your boy, though.
He's a punk.
Take it to the grave.
Oh, yeah. I told him I was going to fight him.
Hey.
But, you can fight me, man.
Hands was free.
Don't quit the basketball team.
I mean, what the heck?
That's the only ones that I can tell. But to the point.
So white private school, y'all.
It was.
They didn't know the etiquette.
This wasn't Oak Ridge.
Oh, word.
But to the point, that pain reminded me. I was like, I'm never doing that again.
Well, you taught me that. You taught me that lesson eating ramen. Jennifer, if you don't hold him accountable, you didn't use those words. You were just like, if you don't cut it off, he's never going to learn.
Never going to respect.
That was my lesson of like, I don't have to be friends with everybody. I don't have to turn this into a friendship. I'm traumatized.
Nope. You're more valuable. You will seem more valuable to men.
Yeah.
When you're done with it, you're done with it. those men are going to be like, oh,
damn.
shoot.
Promise you don't play.
They will flood your inbox. They will call you. They will do everything
I
they can.
I took the test and I studied. Now, guess who do that now? I'm getting much better at it.
But you just told me you had this dude that
had
you're still
friends.
talking to on Instagram and your
That's
inbox.
what happened before. That was 80. We're in BC.
You were speaking
Wait,
in
what is
present
it? Did
tense.
I mix it up? BC, we're in 80 now.
Oh my
You
God.
were speaking in present tense.
I don't know. He hasn't texted me in a couple of weeks.
Present tense. You still doing it.
But I'm much better now. Like, I'm very clear and upfront about, like, I just say what I say, what I need, what I want. And if it's not compatible, I'm just like, I don't respond. Like, there's no need for me to entertain this situation. So I'm much better with the new people that I meet, like, being just really
Chill.
Yeah. And also, I'm not really looking. You know,
that's the best time.
I tell people, man, like women and men, I'm like, yo, if you just focus, like, don't focus on being doing this. Like, don't focus on that. Focus on yourself, because it's going to happen. You're going to start crossing these paths.
It is very, 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 very unattractive. when you know when a woman is desperate to be in a relationship. God. It is super unattractive. And I've told women that. I'm like, this don't look good. You're like, I just need a man. No, you don't need that. You need to just better your life, have fun, and it will come.
There was a girl who told me, she was like, well, I need a man to know within 3 weeks of talking to me if we're getting married, because other than that, I'm wasting my... And I'm like, wow.
Goodbye.
But how
exactly.
do you know you want to be married?
And I'm like, yo, I don't even know you to even have that kind of... I can't pursue... Like, you just... Like, and then if you're trying to get a man who you say that to and he's like, bet... That's insanity.
Women that are listening, you just heard from the male perspective. That's the point of the show. What that looks like. And I just want to also teach women. I am 34, single, no kids. And I am now contemplating in my life, like, do I really want to have kids? Should I be married? Can you imagine if I was making those type of lifelong questions post-marriage or with kids? So women, I know that's what you think, that's what you're looking for, but really, please spend the time. And take that from someone who has been spending the time really thinking about, am I ready to be in a relationship? Do not come into situation. That is off-putting and scary. Like, I can't even imagine saying that to a guy, because most of the time I'm like, do I really want to be married? Let alone, do I want to be married to you? Like,
and
how do you even say that to a guy?
Imagine a guy we just met. You just unloading all kind of psychotics on me.
I don't even know you.
Yeah,
I've
that's
had
a psychopath.
It's a psychopath.
Don't do that, ladies. Oh, my God.
That is...
So you said, first date. I haven't even gone on a date with this woman. This chick told me this, and I call her a chick because that's how she acted. She was like, oh, you know, you don't call me. You didn't call me yesterday. Or you didn't call me. Like,
I had a dude like that.
And then she was like, a man knows what he wants, and he gonna come and get what he wants.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if I want you.
Exactly.
I don't know you.
So, did I say this on air where I was like, why does every woman think they're like, every man just like, every woman thinks they're the best thing since sliced bread?
Yeah, you two aren't like that, but I've met guys like that.
I mean, like, it's like, what's going on with that? Like, if there's ever a bad relationship, does the woman ever say she did wrong? Usually. No, I mean, let's not generalize, but
it takes time.
With your friends that are females and stuff, even with your friends that are females, when they get out of a relationship, do they ever talk about anything they ever did wrong to drive that relationship to where it was?
No.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Only when they're completely broken.
Oh, okay.
When they're completely broken and they come in like, I don't know, John. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have did that.
I don't need you to read me like a book. First of all, sir, you're my friend.
I'm not talking about you, Negro.
That sound like me.
Why are you getting so defensive?
But all he's doing,
was me.
I honestly was not talking about that.
But see, that confirms.
You brought it.
That confirms what the point.
I want to
say,
say, can I just acknowledge though, women don't do that, because you have to also admit that y'all are trifling.
Women don't take accountability for their actions.
But most of us have been cheated on. Most of us.
Most men have.
I don't know.
I have been.
I have.
Most men you meet, it's the same struggle, men and women. It's the same thing. But to feel that you go through it, especially with relationships, women always feel like they're the worst, but they're the best thing. That if a man's with them, then the man is he need to get because I'm the best thing ever. And it's like, see, men don't think that. We don't think we the best thing ever. We're like, I gotta try to be the best.
You don't have to think it because you exist in a world that caters to you as being the
Not
best bystander.
Not as a black man.
Well,
we don't hear that.
When it comes to relationships,
Never hear that.
When it comes to relationships,
Everybody want to
in
smash,
my
but
opinion,
nobody want to keep nothing.
Black men are stigmatized or archetyped in a way where you guys are the like pristine thing that women want to have.
You know the thought of black men.
Especially if you're tall and you play basketball. I'm looking at you, Jonathan Simmons.
The thought is
you're the claim to fame. Like women don't you think black women have that?
I'm gonna tell you
we
where
are
you're
on
wrong.
the bottom.
I'm gonna tell you.
We are the dredges. Nobody wants us. And so 100% we are constantly, if a black woman has any room to feel powerful, albeit negative and from a horrible place, they're going to grab onto it because they have no other thing to grab onto to make them feel relevant or even being able to participate in the process.
You know what every race on this planet outside of even black women believe about black men is that they're going to get you pregnant and leave you. That is 100% facts. You can go all over the world. And that's what they think a black man will do to you.
They think we're attractive.
They want to smash.
But they're not going to marry you.
Boom. All you are is a tool.
And it's not the best fit. And you're speaking of me, and I told my friend this the other day. Being a trophy is not the best feeling in the world.
But y'all have an upper hand in the sense that y'all could be with multiple people.
They want sex. That's it.
Women
that has
don't
nothing.
have
That has nothing.
We're already losing the fight.
Women,
it's like y'all have the upper hand in the sense that y'all could be with multiple people.
Women can be with multiple. It's easy. Just take a picture and start an OnlyFans.
Well, if you're a 6.
No, for real, a 6.
I see.
Men don't get away with OnlyFans.
I don't have multiple.
Hey, look, start OnlyFans. You'll have people like, girl, just put your feet on the camera real quick.
Oh my god.
Like I'm telling you, man. Like it's as a black man,
you have respect for yourself.
Yeah,
but if you didn't, you showed a little cleavage, and you dressed a certain way, your Instagram likes would shoot through the roof, and people would be coming in. If you acted like a thought, they're coming.
Yeah,
they're coming. See, when I was younger, I've dated white women, and it was not the best.
It was,
especially when you go into the home.
Literally one of my worst
experiences.
experiences.
When you meet the parents.
Wait, Jonathan, how tall are you for the listeners so they know? Because he used to play high school basketball, y'all. How tall were you?
In college, but it's 6'4".
6'4". Listen, these white women was going crazy for this.
Right, but I didn't like the cooking, and and we had nothing to talk about. Yeah. I can't come to, and I've learned that over my years, and I can't generalize for everybody, right? Because my best friends are married to white women, and they're the best women in the world, right? But for me personally, it's hard because you see that how the way that you and I talk, Jen, and I talk with people is on a deep level, and if you've never experienced that type of thing, it's hard for me to talk to you about the certain thing. But it's difficult. Like Q said, like black women may see us as that, but that's not an easy place to be because we're like that. But then you have to keep in mind of when people look at us that way, they assume that he's this so-called quote-unquote sexual being, that he's going to be promiscuous with all women. Mm-hmm. He's not to be trusted. Mm-hmm. He can't hold a job.
Yep.
He can't be emotionally open. He doesn't take care of his children, and that's the stereotype that we have.
Yeah.
So that's very hard to fight. And we know it. And we know it even when I go into an interview, and me and you have talked about this. I'm an educated man. I have 3 degrees. Yeah. But I step into an interview and I see a look, I know I'm not getting the job. Because they already assume something about me. How many times I called you?
Dready Jonathan.
Right. How many times I had to call you and say, Jen, you think I should cut my hair?
Yeah.
Because I'm going in for an interview?
People have told me when I was interviewing at Valencia, they told me I should cut my hair for that interview.
You would have to.
And I said, nah, because this is me.
I struggle with that. I have to wear a wig.
But
I wear a wig on interviews.
That's just, you know what, that's perfect what he said.
Well, what I appreciate about this is like I always felt like y'all, and I still to a certain extent feel like y'all do have an upper hand in certain things, just being men. Like y'all have to understand that male privilege does carry a lot of power in comparison to being a black woman. And when it comes to dating, y'all have, if you wanted to execute that power, you two are wonderful men. Thank you for not being, taking
douchebags.
Okay. But there are some men that take advantage of the male part of it because there's more women on the planet than men. So you guys have this ability to take advantage if you wanted to. But what I do love about what you both just shared is that we are more alike than we.
Yes.
Than you think.
Definitely.
Yeah, 100%.
Because there's many times that even me, I go into a meeting and most of the top women are black women.
Mm-hmm.
And to be truthful, some of that black women hold us from going up to the top.
That is
exactly
true.
what you said.
That is true. Yes. That is so true.
And some of us are toxic because of the toxicity we've grown in or, our history. And I know that I'm trying to cut it off because I know we could talk all night. And I just want to say that I love you guys as black men. I love you guys as people, a part of my tribe. And I appreciate you being here. So let's end the show by just sharing. I don't know. What's the summary of the episode? Like, what's one key thing you want our listeners to go away with tonight?
I mean, just spread vibes. Be you. Be kind. Just spread love. That's really it. Like, don't think too hard about things. Like, if you think hard about things, don't let it dictate everything that you're doing to where you go crazy. Just spread good energy. And if you keep that energy up and keep that energy out there, like, you'll start seeing it. It'll manifest in your life and stuff like that. That's what I'm really all about. I don't think too hard on things. When that whole political stuff was going on, I literally, when I stepped back because I was way too angry. I was like, I haven't been this angry since I was like younger, doing that young black man anger, like that young black man anger that I had when I was in like high school. I was like, I haven't been this angry just for like walking around with it on my shoulders, just like wanting to fight, And I was like, you know what? Why am I going back to this? Let me let that go. Let me get back to what I really love and like not put myself in a box. Like I see everything that's going on, but I'm not talking to no wall anymore. Trying to get a reply out of a wall. I can only do what I can do. And so if I could just spread good energy and maybe change the people that are around me, not even change them because that's being egotistical, just give them something, give them some love or whatever, then that's all I can do. So I'm gonna do what I can do. And y'all should do what y'all can do. Yes.
Hashtag spread love and don't get so overwhelmed by the craziness in the world. Do what you can do within your circle.
Yep.
Love it.
I'll piggyback off of that because it's funny because when you speak to most black men and you need this podcast here when we come in is to have an understanding, right? It's not men versus women, black men versus black women or brown women. It's for us to come together and have an understanding because we all we got, right? And just like Q said, most black men suffer from PTSD and they don't even know it just from living our lives. Like I had the same feelings he had, same feelings I had, and as black men, we walk around just angry, afraid, and, unsure of life, and it's hard. We push hard every day, but we get punched right back in the face to tell us to sit back down and learn our place, so, we recognizing that. We have to show empathy and just push each other with kindness and love and faith and build each other up. Like, you got this, sis. Yeah, brother, you got this.
Love it. Yeah.
I think that's important to move forward.
It's beautiful. My summary is not so poignant. I was going to say, don't cry over no ugly dude, sis. And I mean that, though. Like, some of y'all stressing, let it go. And I love what we were talking about earlier. You can love someone and not be with them. And that's how we kind of started out the show about what does it mean to be in love versus having love for someone. And I think you'll have to define that for yourself. But there is a difference. And it's okay to have love for someone and not be in a relation with them. And if you're in a situation where it is not easy, and I'm not saying to give up, but when you really need to assess, like, is this really for me? And am I really for them? And really look past what you're doing for them. Like, oh, I take care of this, I take care of that. I watch their kids and I do this. What are you feeding into them? And if it's not in alignment, then it might be one of those people where you can love from afar, and that's okay. So my advice is don't cry over no ugly dudes. Or good-looking dudes with no value. You know, just really think about in your life the difference between being in love versus having love for someone.
And I love everyone.
All right.
I love and I appreciate you.
I love you guys, yeah.
Jen, you're a strong woman.
And
you're doing a great thing.
Oh.
So, fellas, listen to this. I'm telling you this right now. And this goes a long way for most of us men to do, you know. Jen, you have a great spirit about you, you know, and you always do good. People subscribe to the podcast. Anybody out there want to sponsor?
Hinge. Yep.
Hinge. She will model for you.
Hey.
She will start an OnlyFans. Yeah. No, she will not.
Holding a Bible. Thanks, Jonathan. I don't know how to accept compliments, but thank you.
You got it.
All right, y'all. So we'll be back soon. Please subscribe to the podcast and like us on all of our social media stuff. Love y'all. Bye.